Welcome to the Influencer Show with your host, Trishawn Ben Salmi.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Influencer Show, where I interview people who can help influence the way you live life in a number of different ways. I'm your host, C7, and today we have a very special guest for us, Hanh Tran. So if you'd like to introduce yourself to listeners and let them know a little bit about you.
My name's Han. I am a personal trainer. I've been a personal trainer for 5 years now. I had wish I'd known sooner, but yeah, I can't really. You know what? I'm so nervous. I don't even know what else to say about myself. I don't literally. But yeah, literally, that's what I do, and that's what I enjoy, and that's what I do for a living.
That sounds absolutely amazing. And could you share with the listeners why you do what you do?
I've always enjoyed helping people, like in general, and I found the love for health and fitness, based on my journey, and I never thought that I could do it. I never thought I could help others, but here I am now, like enjoying the love in helping other people in achieving their goals, motivating them, finding what they think they can't achieve or can't do, by helping them literally get to where they want to get to. So yeah, this is literally why I enjoyed loving, like, doing what I do, and also knowing that how it keeps you sane, the positivity, the energy, the strength, the health, the benefits, and what you actually get out of it is one of the key things that I've come across.
Definitely, I totally agree, and that sounds absolutely amazing. Could you share with the listeners what has been like the biggest influence on you that you wish you had known sooner?
Nutrition. I think that's one of the key things I wish I'd known sooner, just because there's a lot to nutrition in terms of when to eat, how to eat, what to eat, and how much to eat. There's a lot to nutrition in how your body reacts to it. And I wish I had known sooner, just because nutrition can create the body that you're wanting to achieve, and you're wanting your health to be like. So I wish I'd known nutrition.
That's actually so very key, because like when people often like try to get their ideal body and things like that, if their nutrition is not right, then they're going to fail to get those results. And it's just about awakening to the fact that you are a product of the things that you're putting into your body. So you have to make sure you're putting in the right things to then fuel you to do things that you desire to.
No, 100. Which are not a lot of people are educated in nutrition, which is one of the key benefits to your health, and also to achieving goals. When we say nutrition is 80% and exercise is 20%, believe it or not, nutrition is a key thing. You can exercise 6 hours a day, but if your nutrition isn't right, you're never going to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. So
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with that. And that's something that people often aren't like realizing, because they're putting in the hours at the gym and all places like that. But then if they're not actually looking after their body and like fueling it with the right things, then they're not going to see the results no matter how hard they work. And it's about them like little changes that actually show big benefits.
Exactly. So yeah, that's the one thing I wish I had known sooner.
That is absolutely amazing. And thank you so much for sharing.
No worries.
How do you prefer to influence others to change the way that they live their lives for the better?
I would say by showing my own results on how I started, where I started, and also showing them what you could look like from the start to the end. I think that's one thing that would be like, it's evidence. It's evidence showing people what you could achieve by doing these certain like protocols from top to bottom. So yeah, I think that's definitely the key thing. Yeah.
I think that's one thing that actually encourages people to then take part in it more, because then when they see that the person who's actually teaching it has the results and they can actually show that, then shows them that there's hope for them, really. Yeah.
Exactly. Especially with my genetics. Like, there are body goals that I wanted to achieve, but I never thought that I could achieve. based on my genetics. But no, as long as you put the work in,
Definitely.
yeah, you could definitely achieve it.
That's absolutely amazing. Could you share with us like maybe like some tips or like any like guidance as to how people can stay motivated during moments of crisis?
Always think back to why you started. Um, in situations like this, don't get me wrong, I have to say it is hard, especially you're not in your normal routine. But in order to keep maintaining and to keep going, think back to why you started your journey. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's work, whether it's fitness, whether it's goals, anything, is to think back why you started, and hopefully that will keep them going. Because I'm only human, and I could turn around and say the same thing, where I have had my ups and downs during this quarantine, but there are moments where like I always think back why I started and to keep going. And also me being an influencer on social media, having to motivate people, get them going during this like sad times at the moment, is something that I'm always thinking back why I started and why I started my job. So yeah, so I think that's one of the key main advice that I would give.
That is absolutely amazing. Thanks so much for sharing. And I think that's like really important because like now as a result of like the lockdown and all of that, people then had that time to then self-reflect and actually put into perspective how they were acting before, because like many people, they were running on autopilot. They were simply like doing the same things every other day, but they were expecting different results. And now it simply gives them a chance to then look internally and then think about the things that they want to achieve. Be it they might want to get their dream body, they might want to eat healthy and things like that. So it actually gives them that time to then self-reflect and put things into perspective, really.
100, definitely. So yeah, that's why that would be my advice in during this kind of hard times. But yeah.
Thank you. Could you share with us like what is your passion?
I think my passion would be to do what I'm doing right now, which is share as many good and positive energy out to everyone. That's something I've only learned, believe it or not, the last 6 months. It just goes to show positive energy, positive mindset can really attract loads of good things towards you. So that's something I would love to share to everyone as much as I can.
I totally agree with that, definitely. If you, let's say that you had a megaphone and you could say one thing to the world that would have a lasting influence, what would it be and why?
Do what you love. That would be my my last say in everything and to everyone. Do what you love. The reason why is because life can be short, you never know. And also when you do what you love, you're finding happiness. And happiness is the number one key thing, like in this, to everyone. Without happiness, there won't be no joy to life. So I would say do what you love and literally live your life. That's the key thing, I would say.
And I really do urge you listeners that you're taking notes, that you guys do not miss out on any golden nuggets that Han is dropping with us today. So could you like share some advice with those who they've had their like very own £1 million idea at a time like this?
Question's quite hard. To be fair, if someone had their £1 million idea right now in a time like this, what can I say? Save it, go for it. I don't think nothing should stop you from continuing your £1 million idea, because even if you can't you can't produce it now, you can't have it, you can't make it work now. You're going to make it work in the long run. You know, this quarantine, this lockdown is not going to be forever. So if it's not now, and if it's in a month's time, then make it a month's time, because life, things like this shouldn't be a rush. If it's a £1 million idea, it shouldn't be a rush. It should be something that you should be working on right now. There might be tweaks in the plan, there might be something in the plan that you need to add, you need to subtract. Do it, work on it right now. So maybe it might not be a £1 million idea. By the time you're ready to produce it for it to come out, it might be a £1 billion idea. So who knows? So I would say save it, still work on it, and go get it, honestly. Like,
I totally agree with that. It's about, sometimes you may not be ready to launch now, but then you could then use that time as preparation for you to then plan and put loads of other things together, so that when you then are ready to launch, it comes out bigger, better than ever before.
Exactly. I never believe in rushing anything. If it's an idea, don't rush it, because when you rush something, that £1 million idea might become £100,000 idea, you know, and it might not be to perfection, but at the same time, you can improve it. So never rush anything. I'll say anything in life, never rush it. That's the only key advice I'll give to everyone, because I've been down that road.
That is absolutely amazing, and thank you for sharing. Could you share with the listeners what is the biggest issue or problem that you're aiming to solve as an influencer in your own industry?
I wouldn't say personally I would solve it, but personally what I've come across is fake social media. Just because a lot of people admire certain ideas or certain physiques, and for example on social media, but little do they know, sometimes it's not all down to a natural way of getting there. And a lot of people are actually killing themselves to achieve what that influencer or that Instagram person's got. But really, there's always stories, and there's always behind scenes, like hidden secrets behind scenes of actually what they did to achieve that goal. So, and it does upset me a little, because a lot of people look up to a lot of influencers on social media, and they think it's real. But I personally could say that how not everything is 100% real on social media.
Definitely, it's about like taking everything with like a pinch of salt. Like, yes, this may be what they're showing, but what's the story behind the story? What are they? What listens to like what they're not saying, and all things like that. Because it's amazing to have those results, but if you don't know like what they had to go through and things like that, it's about asking yourself, am I really willing to go as much as them? Like, if I really want these results, how do I know how to make it possible, and things like that.
Exactly. So never believe everything on social media. That's all I can say.
yeah, definitely. What was that like, the so-called like pivotal point along your journey, and what did it teach you?
My weight. Having the genetics that I have. A lot of Southeast Asian women or girls are naturally slim. For those viewers out there, I was never naturally slim. I've always been a chubby girl ever since I was young, and I used to get teased a lot. I used to get nicknamed a lot, and then I found the love for fitness that making me understand how to optimize my nutrition and my fitness together to achieve the goals that I wanted to achieve. So my weight was my pivotal pivotal moment, literally.
That is actually amazing. And thank you so much. Sounds like an amazing journey, really, as a whole. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a journey that I had to teach a lot of things myself before I knew I had to seek professional help. But yeah.
That is absolutely amazing. Thank you for sharing.
No worries.
Could you then, after like going on the journey, what are the like top 3 lessons that you've learned, and how did they?
Excuse you.
After going on that journey, what are the top 3 lessons that you've learned, and how did they influence the way you look at life as a whole?
Key number 1 for me is being and keeping positive at all times. Reason being, because I've learned that being positive at all times attracts a lot of good things your way. I have not once, for the last 6 months, I've not once been upset, not once been hurt, not once been stressed. Because once you're in a positive mode, honestly, I can tell you this much from experience: good things comes your way. I tell you that much. Like I'm a definitely true believer when it comes down to positivity. Number 2, the only competition is myself. What I've learned along that line is that it prevents you from being arrogant, especially within my industry. When the only competition is yourself, your mindset and the way you present yourself is humble, and it does not attract negativity. Because when you're in competition with other people, your mindset becomes negative, because all you want to do is be better than them, and you should never think like that. Never. Always feel that the competition is yourself, and always try and always do better than what you did yesterday. So that was number 2. Number 3, communication and connection. I'm a true believer of communication and connection because it gets you far in life. It literally makes you 10 steps ahead of what you thought you would have been, but you are ahead by time. When you're communicating with and networking with anyone, you learn so much. So communication and connection is key. Just how I am with you now, Trishawn.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, if it wasn't for the fact that I spoke to yourself and your mum during that event, I wouldn't be here with you, would I?
Yeah.
So I would say I'm a true believer of communication and connection.
Yeah, and I really did like those 2 last points, really, about like how you need to be able to not compete with others, but simply try to better yourself. Because then when you're competing with others, you're constantly thinking, oh, I hope that I've done good enough. Oh, how much are they doing? And things like that. But when you're competing with yourself and it's just yourself, you're then able to know that you've given it your best. And if that's not enough, then you'll simply try harder next time. And that way, it then keeps you in a positive mindset, and then you're open to learning. Because when you're then competing with others, loads of things come into play, such as like ego and other things like that. And that can really have a huge effect on your character and just the person you are as a whole, really. And definitely like connections and things like that. That's really important, because let's say that you're trying to like reach out to loads of like inspirational people. If your character isn't correct, and then you've maybe done that one, like you've not been the kindest person to that one person who you didn't know was connected to the person who you're trying to connect to, that could have a huge effect on not only the connection that you're trying to make, but also for future connections. So it's about treating everyone the same and making sure that each and every connection that you then have is just as amazing as the last one, really.
It's just not even business. It's your relationship, your friendship, businessship, partnership, familyship. If your communication's on point, the connection's there.
Yeah, definitely.
Honestly, you live a happier life, I tell you. So yeah.
That is absolutely.
I'm glad you like the last 2 points. I'm really glad.
Yeah, definitely. What are your like views on the word legacy, and what legacy would you like to leave?
Legacy to me is like a stamp. It's a footprint to your name. And my legacy would be live, love, life, laugh. That's my legacy. And I've actually got that tattooed at the back of me. And also I've got that on my bedroom wall too.
That's amazing.
That's the legacy I definitely would leave, just because you've got to live it, and make sure you give as much love, make sure you enjoy life, and make sure you're laughing at all times.
Definitely.
So
and it's about just like staying positive at all times, because then, like you said, how it just attracts like more positivity and better things into your life as a whole.
All that 4 words already sums up the positivity in it all.
Yeah.
So definitely remember, guys, live, love, life, laugh. Love it.
Words to live by. 100. If you had to be another person for one day, who would it be and why?
Well, I would want to be Beyonce. Why? She's a woman of many talents, and that's why I would love to be her. I love dancing. I love music. I love how she presents herself. I love how she's a strong woman. She's confident. She's just someone who I look up to and admire. And I love how she can be a mother, a wife, a daughter, a singer, a dancer, a speaker. I can just, yeah.
Yeah.
She's a woman of many talents, and that's why I would love to be her for one day.
Well, that's absolutely amazing. I totally understand why you've chosen her. Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for sharing.
No worries.
Is there like anything maybe you've like done in the past, and now looking back on it, you may have wished you've done differently or maybe even sooner, and what did it teach you?
Nothing. I'll tell you why. I don't regret anything in my past. Reason why, because your past makes you who you are today. So if you regret or either wanted to do something different in your past, it wouldn't make you the person you are today. However, I'm happy. Like today, I'm happy. I have been positive and happy for the last 6 months, and I wouldn't change my past, because my past wouldn't make me the person I am today. So all I can say, my word of advice when it comes down to, would you ever regret or change anything in your past? You shouldn't, because you should be learning from your experiences and taking it to your next chapter of your life, and making sure you don't, if you did do a mistake and you wish you had, changed it, or or you regretted it, don't do it again. Simple. Just learn from it and just keep living. So I'm afraid.
Definitely. No, thank you. And it's actually really important, because like many people, they're often like, oh, I wish I'd done this, I wish I'd done this sooner. But then the lessons that you then learn as a result of doing that thing, they would have just repeated itself in another way. So the way that it's showed up has actually been beneficial, because then it's happened sooner rather than later. And then later on in life is something does like show up and it seems similar to the obstacle, you then have those life lessons and life skills to be able to tackle the obstacle.
Exactly. Don't ever regret anything. Honestly, it really teaches you a lot in life. So don't.
Definitely. And could you like share some advice that you would give to your younger self?
Live your life to the fullest of positive spirits. That's what I'd give to my younger self. I'm a true believer when it comes down to positivity and energy, and always live your life to the fullest.
Definitely, it's about taking every opportunity, because you don't know how long life is going to last, really. So it's about taking every opportunity and making the most out of it.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I wish there was a younger version of me. Well, you never know, there might be one day when I have that daughter of mine. But yeah.
Definitely. Like, could you, so you gave some advice to your younger self, could you then like share some advice with the listeners who might be like starting up a brand new business, just trying something new, and they're starting to give up?
Remember why you started. That's the key phrase and key word you need to think and always have in your head. Remember why you started. Whether it's a business, whether it's your transformation, whether it's goals, don't give up if you haven't started it, because you obviously started it for a reason, and for that reason keep going and finish it. If it didn't work out in the end, don't give up. Do something else. Do it again, because you know what, in life there's always something out there for you. So never give up. Like, always remember why you started. And I'm a true believer in that, because when you give up because you're being lazy. That's what it is. That's all it is. It's just you're being lazy. But as long as you keep going, I can guarantee you'll get there in the end. Guarantee.
Yeah, definitely. It's about them consistent steps in the right direction, because then eventually you will achieve that goal that you set out, really. And later, earlier in the interview, you spoke about like nutrition. Could you maybe like share like a couple of tips for those who may be trying to take their nutrition more seriously?
Find healthy foods that you love to eat. Key number one. Number two, if you're on a weight loss journey, the key thing to try is macros tracking. Reason being is because when you're in a deficit during your macros calculation, you're going to lose weight, because your body is reading a drop in the weight where it's not used to the food that is eating, or that is currently eating. Also, when you start having small portions of meals, your stomach starts shrinking. So when it starts shrinking, you don't want to binge, you don't want to snack, and then you literally just you enjoy the food. Not only that, you feel the energy in your body. You feel like you just feel so much lighter, and it gives you so much of a clearer mind. What else about nutrition that I've learned? I've learned to cook certain foods that I thought I would never cook. I've learned to eat certain foods that I'll never eat. You just have to be you just have to be creative in terms of what you eat. And what else could I say? Yeah, key thing: drink loads of water. People tend to forget about water. Drink at least 2 to 3 liters of water a day. Even if you're not thirsty, drink it. That is one of the key liquids to make you lose weight as well, is water. What else could I say about nutrition? Yeah, it's just making sure you find foods that you love. And a lot of people tend to eat food that they think will make them lose weight, but they don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They don't enjoy it, and that's the thing. That's where people fail in the middle, is because they don't enjoy the food that they're eating, and they think that that's the food, that's the key food to lose weight, and then next minute they're going back to binging again.
Yeah.
So find food that you enjoy eating and make sure that it's healthy and also is giving you enough energy and making you fuller for that particular meal anyways. But yeah, I would say that that's my key advice in nutrition.
Thank you so much for sharing. And like, there might be like some listeners who, let's say that they are overweight or they don't have their particular their dream body and they're trying to lose weight. How would they go about doing so? Because like many of them, they might have tried like trying to starve themselves and many other like ridiculous things. What would you say are like the top 3 most effective ways, as on top of like how you said staying hydrated?
Smaller portions throughout the day, so you're fuller for longer. So spread out your meals between 4 to 6 meals a day. Secondly, exercise. Key thing, exercise. Also, don't, even though you're exercising and you're on, let's say, a 6 weeks program, don't continue that 6 weeks program, because your body will start getting used to it. So always shock up your body by changing up your routine, your exercise routine. So if, let's say, 6 weeks you're doing I don't know, weights, maybe the next 6 weeks do the same thing, weights, but add cardio in. And then in the next 6 weeks after that, then shake up your weight scheme. Maybe you might be doing like lower weights and higher reps. Maybe following, you might want to do higher weights and lower reps. So you always got to shock up your body. Thirdly, so we've got what? Water, meals, exercise. Enjoy what you love doing. Find a hobby that you enjoy doing that keeps you going. That would be my third top 3 advice.
Definitely, I totally agree with that. Because like when people often, like when they like just try anything in life, you have to have something to then keep you excited, keep you happy about it. Because like, yeah, you might like doing workouts, but if you get keep on doing the same thing, then eventually you're gonna get bored, because you're like, oh, here we go again. But then by doing what you've just said there, by switching it up and changing it, it then shocks your body. And then, because if you, let's say that you're doing the same thing for 3 weeks, then eventually your body's going to get used to it, and then you're not going to start to see any changes at some point. So it's about then changing it, so then you could then get newer and even better results.
100. The thing is, a lot of people do it for the sake that they think that, yeah, I have to do this for me to lose weight, or I have to do this to achieve my goals. You've got to do certain things that you love, you enjoy doing. Like, find hobbies that you love to do and be creative, be imaginative, like go out there, explore, be spontaneous, because you can't stick to what you know. Like, do Google research, talk to people. Once you connect, remember, key thing, connect, communication, you will find certain things that you never thought that you would enjoy. But look at where you are now. That's the only thing I could advise, is find something that you enjoy. Definitely.
Definitely, I definitely agree with that. Lastly, where can people find you if they'd like to find out about any upcoming things you may have?
Instagram, HT_fit with 2 I's, and Facebook as well on the same name. For now, I'm trying to expand my social media page, but I'll be honest with you, I'm only getting that, my hands on Instagram and Facebook right now, and I feel like those 2 apps take up my time already. So for now is those 2, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll have a YouTube one day soon, that I could be showing you guys the workouts that I do, on how to do the workouts and how to use my one and only special product right now, which is my HT Fit booty band. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I will get that up and running soon. So yeah, they're the two.
Thank you so much for sharing, and I really do urge you listeners to go and check out Han. It's absolutely amazing. I'd like to thank you for coming on the Influencer Show today.
No worries. Thanks for having me, Trayshawn. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'd also like to thank you listeners for tuning in. And if you guys missed out or didn't catch anything that we were saying, feel free to rewind it. And I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And if you guys would like to have the chance to be featured on the Influencer Show, be sure to email the email that's going to be popping on the screen. And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.
See ya.